Hello, everyone. Welcome to English Thought. My name is Julie, and I'm really happy you are here with me tonight. Maybe you had a long day, maybe your mind feels tired, or maybe you just want a quiet place where you can relax and improve your English slowly and naturally. If that's true, then you are in the right place. So make yourself comfortable. Take a deep breath, and let's spend some peaceful time together tonight. And before we begin, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to English Thought, and share this podcast with someone who wants to learn English in a calm and relaxing way. And of course, leave a comment below and tell me where you are listening from. I truly love reading your comments every day. Tonight, we are going to talk about something very important, something simple, but sometimes difficult. Tell me about yourself. You know that feeling when someone suddenly asks you this question and your mind becomes completely empty? Maybe during a job interview, maybe in school, maybe when meeting someone new, or maybe during an English conversation. Someone smiles and says, "So tell me about yourself." And suddenly, you forget every English word you know. Your heart beats faster. Your hands feel nervous, and your brain says, my name is, and honestly, this happens to almost everyone. Even native English speakers sometimes feel uncomfortable talking about themselves. Because talking about yourself sounds easy, but it can actually feel very personal. A few years ago, I remember meeting someone new at a small coffee shop. It was evening. Rain touched the windows softly. People talked quietly around us. The smell of coffee filled the room. And after a few minutes of conversation, he smiled and asked, "So, Julie, tell me about yourself." And honestly, for a moment, I didn't know what to say. Not because I had nothing to say, but because I suddenly started thinking too much. Should I sound interesting? Should I sound smart? Should I talk about work? My hobbies? My dreams? And that's the problem sometimes. We think talking about ourselves needs to sound impressive. But honestly, the best conversations usually feel simple and real. Not perfect, real. Maybe you feel this too. Sometimes you want people to understand who you are, but it's hard to explain yourself in words. That's why tonight we are going to practice together. Slowly, calmly, naturally. And by the end of this podcast, I want you to feel more comfortable saying, "Hi, this is who I am." Because your story matters. Even simple stories matter, especially simple stories. So, let's begin slowly. Imagine this. You are sitting in a quiet room. Maybe during a job interview, maybe during your first English class, maybe during a friendly conversation. Someone smiles warmly and asks, "Tell me about yourself." Now, you do not need complicated English. Simple English is beautiful English. You can start naturally like this. "Well, my name is Anna. I'm 24 years old. I live in Chicago with my family, and currently I'm working and studying at the same time." Simple, natural, human. And honestly, confidence matters more than difficult vocabulary. Many English learners think they need perfect grammar to sound good. But real conversations are not perfect. Real conversations have pauses, small mistakes, laughter, nervous moments. That's normal. Let me tell you about someone named Daniel. Daniel was one of my old classmates. Quiet person, very kind, very hardworking. But every time someone asked him to introduce himself in English, he became nervous immediately. One day, our teacher asked everyone to stand up and speak. When it became Daniel's turn, he looked terrified. His hands shook slightly. Then he quietly said, "Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm from Mexico. I work at a grocery store. And honestly, I'm trying my best to improve my English." And something beautiful happened. The entire room smiled warmly because his introduction felt honest, human. That moment stayed with me because people connect with honesty more than perfection. Sometimes life feels like that. You think you need to impress everyone, but actually, people just want something real. Another important thing, when talking about yourself, you can share daily life details too. Simple details make conversations feel warm. For example, I really enjoy quiet mornings. I love drinking coffee while listening to music. I spend a lot of time studying lately. I enjoy watching movies after work. These small details make you sound natural. Because real people talk about real life, not perfect life, real life. And honestly, small details often become the beginning of beautiful conversations. A few months ago, I met a woman at a bookstore. We started talking near the coffee section. At first, the conversation felt normal. Then she said, I love rainy days because they make life feel slower. And honestly, I still remember that sentence because it felt personal, peaceful, human. That's what good communication feels like, not robotic, emotional. Now imagine this situation. You are in a job interview. The interviewer smiles politely and asks, So, tell me about yourself. This question feels scary for many people. But honestly, they are not asking for perfection. They simply want to know you better. So you can answer naturally like this, sure. My name is Kevin. I currently work in customer service. I'm a hardworking person and I enjoy learning new skills. In my free time, I enjoy reading and improving my English. Simple, clear, confident. And honestly, slow English sounds more confident than rushed English. Many learners speak too fast because they feel nervous, but calm speaking sounds stronger. Take small pauses, breathe slowly, and remember you are allowed to think while speaking. Native speakers do this too. You know something interesting? When people ask, tell me about yourself, they're often really asking, what kind of person are you? And honestly, kindness matters more than sounding perfect. A warm smile, calm energy, friendly tone. These things matter deeply during conversations. One evening, I was talking with an older woman while waiting for the subway. She introduced herself very simply. My name is Martha. I work at a hospital. I have 2 cats, and I really love gardening. That was it. Nothing dramatic. But honestly, she sounded memorable because she sounded genuine. Sometimes we overcomplicate communication, but human connection usually grows from small, honest moments. Maybe right now, you are listening to this podcast while feeling nervous about speaking English. If so, please relax. You do not need to become perfect overnight. Language learning is a slow journey, one sentence at a time, one conversation at a time. And honestly, making mistakes means you are learning. A lot of people stay silent because they fear mistakes. But silence cannot improve confidence. Speaking improves confidence, even imperfect speaking. I remember my first public presentation years ago. I practiced for hours, but when I stood in front of people, my mind went completely blank. I forgot simple words. My voice sounded nervous, and honestly, I felt embarrassed afterward. But later, something surprising happened. People still thanked me for the presentation because they focused on the message, not the small mistakes. That experience changed me. Now, I try to focus more on connection than perfection. And maybe you should too. When introducing yourself, you can also talk about dreams and goals. People love hearing hopeful things. For example, I hope to travel someday. I want to improve my English for my future. I dream about starting my own business. I want a peaceful and happy life. Simple dreams, but meaningful dreams. And honestly, dreams make conversations emotional sometimes, because everyone hopes for something. One thing I noticed about Americans, especially during friendly conversations, is that people often ask follow-up questions. For example, what do you do? What do you enjoy? What kind of movies do you like? What do you usually do on weekends? These questions help conversations continue naturally. And honestly, good conversations feel like sharing small pieces of life slowly. not interviews. Sharing. Imagine sitting in a cozy coffee shop at night. Soft music plays quietly. Warm lights glow softly above you. Someone asks, "What do you usually do after work?" You can answer simply, "Honestly, I usually go home, make dinner, and relax. Sometimes I watch YouTube or listen to podcasts before sleeping." That sounds natural. Because daily routines connect people, everyone understands daily life. Another thing, when talking about yourself, don't be afraid to show emotion. For example, I used to feel very shy speaking English. Moving to a new city felt lonely at first. I've been working really hard lately. Sometimes I worry about the future. Honest emotions make conversations real. And honestly, many people secretly feel the same way you do. That's why emotional honesty creates connection. A few years ago, I met someone during an English class. At first, he seemed quiet. But during introductions, he softly said, "I'm still learning confidence." That sentence stayed with me. Because honestly, many people are learning confidence, not just English. Confidence. Life feels like that sometimes. You slowly become the person you want to be, little by little, conversation by conversation, day by day. Now let's practice another natural introduction. Imagine meeting someone new at a party. You smile and say, "Hi, I'm Emily. I recently moved here for work. I really enjoy photography and late-night walks around the city. And honestly, I'm still getting used to living here." That sounds soft, natural, human. And notice something important. The sentence, "I'm still getting used to living here," this sentence adds emotion. Small emotional details make people remember conversations. You know what people rarely remember? Perfect grammar. You know what people do remember? How conversations made them feel. That's important. Another common situation is school introductions. Maybe the teacher says, "Please introduce yourself." That can feel stressful. But honestly, simple is best. For example, "Hello everyone. My name is Sarah. I'm studying business right now. I enjoy music and traveling. And I'm excited to improve my English with all of you." Simple, friendly, positive. And honestly, positive energy makes introductions stronger. People naturally enjoy warm energy, not fake energy. Warm energy. Maybe you feel nervous speaking in front of groups. That's normal too. Even confident people feel nervous sometimes. Confidence does not mean feeling zero fear. It means speaking anyway. That's bravery. One thing that helped me personally was practicing introductions alone. Yes, alone. Sometimes I practiced while walking, sometimes while making coffee, sometimes while looking into the mirror. At first it felt strange, but slowly speaking became easier. Because confidence grows through repetition. That's true for almost everything in life. Another helpful thing, smile gently while speaking. Smiling changes your voice. Seriously, your voice sounds warmer, more relaxed, more confident. People can hear emotion inside voices, especially during English conversations. And honestly, kind voices make people feel comfortable. A lot of English learners focus too much on sounding perfect. But real communication is emotional, not robotic. Think about your favorite conversations in life. They probably felt relaxed, natural, comfortable, not perfect. One evening I asked my grandfather, "How do you talk to people so easily?" He smiled and said, "I stopped trying to impress people. I just try to understand them." That lesson changed how I communicate forever. Because good conversations are not performances. They are human moments. Maybe right now you are overthinking every English sentence. If so, please slow down. Simple English is powerful. You can say, "I'm tired lately. I love peaceful places. I'm trying my best. I enjoy quiet mornings." These simple sentences already carry emotion. That's enough. And honestly, many native speakers use simple English every day too. One thing I love about human conversations is that they reveal personality slowly. Maybe someone sounds shy at first, then funny later. Maybe someone sounds serious, but actually has a very soft heart. That's why conversations matter. They help people see each other clearly. And honestly, talking about yourself becomes easier when you stop trying to sound impressive. Just sound honest. That's enough. A few months ago, someone asked me, "How would you describe yourself?" And honestly, I thought carefully before answering. Then I simply said, "I think I'm someone who values peaceful moments." And that answer felt true. Maybe you should ask yourself that question too. Who are you really? Not your job title, not your grades, not your social media profile. Who are you as a person? Maybe you are kind, hardworking, quiet, emotional, funny, thoughtful. These things matter too. Sometimes life moves so fast we forget to understand ourselves. That's why quiet conversations feel meaningful sometimes. They slow life down. Right now, as you listen to my voice, maybe your room feels quiet too. Maybe outside your window, the night feels calm. Maybe tomorrow worries you a little. If so, please remember this. You do not need to become perfect to deserve connection. You do not need perfect English to deserve conversations. Your voice matters already. Even while learning, especially while learning. And honestly, people often respect effort more than perfection. So next time someone asks, "Tell me about yourself," take a deep breath, smile softly, and remember, you are not taking a test. You are sharing a small piece of your life. That's all. And maybe that can even become beautiful. Thank you so much for spending this quiet time with me tonight here on English Thought. I truly hope this podcast helped you relax, feel more confident, and improve your English little by little. And if you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to English Thought, and share this podcast with someone who wants to learn English in a calm and peaceful way. And before you leave, please write a comment below and tell me, how would you introduce yourself in English? Or simply tell me where you are listening from tonight. I read your comments every day, and hearing your stories always makes me smile. Take care of yourself, keep practicing slowly, keep speaking confidently, and remember, your story matters. Good night, and I'll see you again very soon here on English Thought.